If you've watched a soccer match anywhere in the world over the past 20 years, you've definitely seen this scene. Cristiano Ronaldo scores a goal, lets out a victory cry, then raises his finger toward the sky and beats his chest while looking up. This gesture has become so iconic that millions of kids imitate this celebration in their backyards.
But this isn't just a goal celebration. This isn't just a pose. This is a secret message from the world's most famous athlete to his 600 million followers. This is a reminder of a life-changing promise. This is the silent declaration of a vow a child made to his father. Today, I'm going to tell you the unknown story of Cristiano Ronaldo. This journey from the narrow streets of Madeira to the peaks of Real Madrid isn't just about soccer. It's about faith, family love, and a promise made to God. Are you ready? Because this isn't just the story of CR7's athletic achievements. This is the story of a spiritual journey. Dream that began on Madeira's streets. Friends, as I tell you the story of this world-famous soccer player today, I'm actually telling a story that exists within all of us. Because Cristiano's story isn't just about a talented kid reaching fame, it's about faith, hope, and never giving up. Born in 1985, on Portugal's Madeira Island, Cristiano dos Santos Aveiro didn't have an easy childhood. His father, José Diniz, worked as a gardener for the municipality and could barely make ends meet for the family. Growing up in the shadow of his father's alcohol problems, little Cristiano had only one escape: the soccer ball. But this wasn't just a hobby. For little Cristiano, soccer was a form of prayer. Every day after school, he'd run home, grab the ball, and silently pray, "God, give me the chance to use the talent you've given me." As he dribbled through those narrow streets, he wasn't just playing a game. He was talking to God. When he joined a local team Andorinha at age 9, his coach immediately noticed he was different. But it wasn't just his technical ability. There was something else in that boy, a determination, a faith, as if there was an invisible force behind every move he made. Cristiano's mother, Dolores, noticed her son's passion. She told him, "Son, if this is truly what you want, God will guide you. But remember, every talent he gives is a responsibility." These words were etched into little Cristiano's heart. From that day forward, soccer wasn't just a game for him. It became a trust from God. The first test, in Lisbon. At age 12, a major turning point came in Cristiano's life. Sporting Lisbon wanted to take him into their academy. But this meant leaving his family, his friends, everything he knew. Going from Madeira to Lisbon was like traveling to another world for a child that age. Cristiano never hid the fact that he cried in the dormitory during his first nights. He missed his home, his mother's cooking, the smell of the sea in Madeira. But every time he struggled, he did one thing. He knelt down and prayed. "God," he would say, "if this is my path, give me strength. If it's not, let me go home. But whatever happens, help me in what I'm trying to do for my family." The coaches at Sporting noticed that this boy had not only exceptional soccer talent, but also extraordinary character. While other kids were playing games, Cristiano was doing extra training. While others watched TV, he read soccer magazines. And most importantly, after every small success, he looked to the sky and gave thanks. During this period, his friends would tease him. "Cristiano, why do you always look to the sky?" His answer was always the same: "Because my being here is a miracle, and miracles come from God." The heart attack he suffered at age 15 became another turning point in his faith journey. Doctors said you might have to stop playing soccer. That night in the hospital room, 15-year-old Cristiano made the most heartfelt prayer of his life. "God, if you heal me, I promise to use every talent you've given me, not just for myself, but for others too. I'll remember you with every goal. I'll glorify you with every success." The operation was successful, and from that day forward, Cristiano's approach to soccer completely changed. He was no longer playing just for his own dreams. He was playing to keep his promise to God. The first sky pointing at Manchester United. When 18-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo transferred to Manchester United in 2003, he came not just as a talented youngster, but as a player with deep faith. When Sir Alex Ferguson first saw him, he said, "There's something special about this boy, not just in his feet, but in his eyes." During his first season at Manchester, Cristiano wasn't yet doing the sky-pointing gesture. But he had a ritual he performed before every match. He would stay alone in the locker room, kneel down, and pray silently. His teammates noticed this, but never asked about it. When he scored his first goal, while running in the joy of celebration, he suddenly stopped and looked to the sky. In that moment, he remembered the promise he made in that hospital bed at age 15. And from that day forward, he began doing the same thing after every goal. Initially, the media interpreted this as just a goal celebration. But Cristiano's close friends knew it had a deeper meaning. This was a way of keeping his promise to God. Rio Ferdinand would later recount, "When I first saw Cristiano start making that gesture, I asked him, I said, 'What does this mean?' He told me, 'I'm thanking him with every goal, because being here is a miracle.' That's when I understood this kid was different." Celebration he made after rising to the top at Real Madrid. Cristiano's transfer to Real Madrid in 2009 was the most expensive transfer of its time. 94 million euros. The eyes of world soccer were on him. This money, this expectation, this pressure, many players would have been crushed under such weight, but Cristiano was different. At his first press conference at Real Madrid, a journalist asked him, "Do you feel the pressure of coming with such a high price tag?" Cristiano's answer surprised everyone. "I don't feel pressure because I'm not alone here. God is with me. If he brought me here, he'll guide me to be successful here too." When he scored his first goal at Santiago Bernabéu, the 80,000-person stadium rose to its feet. But the first thing Cristiano did wasn't to run. It was to point to the sky. In that moment, he remembered the prayers he made while dribbling through Madeira's narrow streets. During his 9 seasons at Real Madrid, he scored 450 goals. After each one, with the same gesture, the same gratitude, he pointed to the sky. This wasn't just a habit, it was a living prayer. His teammate, Karim Benzema, recalls, "I played with Cristiano for 9 years. I saw him pray before every match. I watched him make that gesture after every goal. For him, this isn't just soccer, it's a form of worship." The penalty goal he scored against Atletico Madrid in the 2014 Champions League final brought Real Madrid the championship after 12 years. The celebration he made after scoring that goal became one of the most emotional moments in soccer history. Because it wasn't just a goal, it was the end of 12 years of longing, and the greatest manifestation of his promise to God. Fatherhood, a new dimension of faith.
The birth of Cristiano Jr. in 2010 opened a new page in Cristiano's life and faith. When he first felt the responsibility of being a father, he said he better understood God's love for him.
When you become a father to a child, he said in an interview, you understand what God feels for us. That unconditional love, that protective instinct. That's how God's love for us is. As Cristiano Jr. grew up, the births of twins Eva and Matteo in 2017 and daughter Alana Martina in 2018 changed Cristiano's perspective even more. Now he was living not just for himself, but to be an example to his children. Once a journalist asked him, "What kind of father are you trying to be to your children?" Cristiano's answer was very meaningful. I try to teach them that success is important, but character is more important. They now understand why I point to the sky with every goal. I teach them to thank God for every success. When his children also began pointing to the sky like their father when they scored goals, it deeply moved Cristiano. This wasn't just imitating a gesture. It was passing down a faith to generations. The maturity period at Juventus. Cristiano's transfer to Juventus in 2018 was a new phase in his career. At 33, an age when many players are approaching the end of their careers, he took on a new challenge. In his first interview in Italy, he said, "Coming to a new league at this age isn't easy, but I believe God brought me here for a reason, maybe to bring something different to Italian soccer." In his first season at Juventus, he scored 28 goals. The sky-pointing gesture he made after each goal had now become not just his symbol, but the entire team's symbol. His teammates, influenced by him, began making similar gestures. Paulo Dybala recalls, "When Cristiano came, he taught us not just how to play soccer, but how to live." That sky-pointing gesture of his. At first I thought it was just a goal celebration, but over time I understood it was something much deeper. This is an expression of gratitude, of humility. The most meaningful moment of his 3 seasons at Juventus came after his hat-trick against Ajax in 2019. After scoring the 3rd goal, instead of pointing to the sky, he knelt down and prostrated. In that moment, everyone in the stadium stood up, because this wasn't just a goal celebration. It was a sincere expression of gratitude. National team pride for Portugal. Cristiano's national team career forms one of the most beautiful chapters of his faith journey. When he puts on the Portugal jersey, he knows he's not just a player, but someone carrying the hopes of 10 million Portuguese people. In the 2004 European Championship, at just 19 years old, he played a major role in getting host Portugal to the final. When they lost in the final match, as he cried on the field, he was heard looking to the sky and saying, "God, I understand this pain, but you always say, you have bigger plans. I trust you." 12 years later, when Portugal won the 2016 European Championship, he had to leave the final match due to injury. But as he encouraged his teammates like a coach on the field, he constantly looked to the sky and prayed. When Portugal became champions, Cristiano knelt on the field and cried. This wasn't just the joy of winning a championship. This was the joy of receiving the reward for the promise he made 12 years earlier. The 2019 Nations League Championship, his performance in the 2021 European Championship, in each one the same humility, the same gratitude, the same gesture with every goal, the same thankfulness.
Finally, at the 2022 World Cup, in what might be his last World Cup, the prayer he made before each match also caught the attention of world media. Because it was seen that he was praying not just for success, but for the health and safety of his teammates.
Al Nassr, a new mission.
Cristiano's transfer to Saudi Arabia's Al Nassr team in 2023 was surprising to many. When there were offers from Europe's biggest clubs, why did he choose Saudi Arabia?
The answer he gave at his first press conference showed how much he had matured as a character. This isn't just about soccer. This is about building bridges between cultures. It's about showing people of different faiths that sports and character values are universal.
In Saudi Arabia, he's playing as a Christian player in a Muslim country. But this doesn't cause him to hide his faith. On the contrary, he's making the sky-pointing gesture even more openly, showing that this gesture is a universal expression of gratitude.
His teammates at Al Nassr say about him, Cristiano believes in a different religion, but his respect and gratitude toward God inspires us too. That sky-pointing gesture is now not just his symbol, but all of ours. When he scored his first goal and made the sky-pointing gesture, it received great applause in the stadium, because this wasn't just a goal celebration. It was an expression of the common values of people with different faiths.
The deep meaning of the sky-pointing gesture.
So what does this sky-pointing gesture really represent? Although Cristiano has never explained it in detail, from the clues he's given over the years, we understand it carries multi-layered meaning. First, it's an expression of gratitude. With every goal, he's saying, "Thank you for giving me this talent," to God. Second, it's a reminder. He remembers the promise he made in that hospital bed at age 15 and shows that he's keeping that promise. Third, it's an effort to be an example. He knows he's watched by millions of young people and gives them the message. Be humble in your successes. Be grateful to God. And finally, it's a sign of hope. He sends the message. If God exists, everything is possible, to everyone watching worldwide. In a 2020 interview, he said, "That gesture is like my signature, but unlike a normal signature, this isn't just mine. It's also the signature of the power that brought me here."
Faith in Cristiano's social responsibility projects.
Cristiano's sky-pointing gesture doesn't just stay on the field. The way he uses his on-field success to benefit society is also a reflection of the same faith. The total amount of donations he's made to date exceeds $100 million. Hospitals, schools, orphanages. In every opening speech he makes, he says the same thing. God has given me so much. I must share it with his other children.
The €7 million donation he made to the hospital in Madeira in 2016 wasn't just financial aid. That hospital was where he had heart surgery at age 15. "This is where I was born for the second time," he said. "Now I want this place to create the same miracle for other children."
His work with UNICEF is campaigns for starving children worldwide. Each one has the same motivation: fulfilling the responsibility of the blessings he received from God. A gesture he made at Euro 2020 and 2021 made world headlines. At a press conference, he moved the Coca-Cola bottles placed in front of him aside and said, "Water, please." This wasn't just health consciousness. It was also an effort to teach the right values to the young generation. Aging and the deepening of faith. Cristiano is now 39 years old and in the final phase of his career. But as he ages, it seems that his faith is also deepening. In his recent interviews, he talks more often about God, family, and the meaning of life. "When I was young, I just wanted to score goals, to become famous," he says. "Now I understand that what's really important is using this platform God gave me correctly. Every goal, every success is an opportunity for me, an opportunity to be a good example to people." Recently, the sky-pointing gesture he makes after scoring goals lasts longer. It's as if he's saying a deeper prayer each time. And this affects the billions of people watching him. His son Cristiano Jr. said in an interview last year, "My dad always tells me that scoring goals isn't easy, but what's really hard is staying humble after scoring. That's why he points to the sky after every goal." Cristiano's legacy, carrying the sky, pointing gesture to eternity. When Cristiano Ronaldo retires from soccer one day, what will remain? Of course, records, goals, and championships will remain, but perhaps his most important legacy will be that sky-pointing gesture. Because this gesture taught millions of young people you can be successful, but never be arrogant. You can be famous, but never forget God. You can be the best in the world, but never lose your humility. Today, children of all ages from every country around the world point to the sky when they score goals. This isn't just imitating Cristiano. They're embracing the values he taught. Finally, a statement Cristiano made in 2023 sums it all up. "One day I'll quit soccer. My records will be broken, but I hope that sky-pointing gesture will last forever, because it represents something every person should remember. No matter how high you rise, never forget where you came from and thanks to whom you're there." Conclusion. Friends, while telling you Cristiano Ronaldo's story today, I actually told all of our stories, because that sky-pointing gesture is a symbol not just of the soccer field, but of every area of life. Cristiano taught us this. Whether you're on Madeira's narrow streets or at Santiago Bernabéu, don't forget God. Whether you have a small success or break a record that will go down in history, don't lose your humility. Cristiano, who points to the sky after every goal, is actually giving us life's greatest lesson. Success is temporary, fame is temporary, but faith and character last forever. Maybe from today on, you too can remember that sky-pointing gesture in every small success in your life. Maybe you too can say like Cristiano, "God, thank you for giving me this success." Because the most important thing in life isn't scoring goals. It's who you think after scoring. If this video was meaningful to you, please don't forget to like and share it. Tell me in the comments, how do you give thanks after successes in your life? And remember, you don't have to be like Cristiano Ronaldo.
But you can incorporate the values hidden in his sky-pointing gesture into your life. Humility, gratitude, and never forgetting God.
See you in the next video. Until then, don't forget to point to the sky in your own life goals. God bless you.